AFR On Demand is brought to you by Breck Golf. Try Beaver Creek today, just 20 minutes from downtown Baton Rouge in the Zachary area. They've got a PGA Tour driving range, a short game practice area, 30 to 40-yard practice shots. It's a great place to chip and putt and practice if you don't have time for a full round. Book your tee time today, golf.breck.org, golf.breck.org.
Further review here on a Thursday, day 4 of SEC Football Media Days. We'll get you back out to Tampa here momentarily. LSU took their turn. Of course, Matt had a chance to sit down with LSU linebacker Whit Weeks. We bring you that conversation right now.
LSU senior linebacker Whit Weeks joining us from Radio Row. Senior linebacker.
No, man.
Dude, you're the
crazy.
old guy now.
It's crazy. It's flown by.
Do you give any thought to that? Like how this has to feel like it went quickly.
Oh yeah. I mean, when you get here as a freshman, all the senior are like, dude, you blink your eye and you're a senior, and you never believe them. And now that I'm a senior, I'm like, oh my gosh, it really feels like I just blinked my eye, and now we're here.
Also, this will be your first year at LSU without West.
Right.
Is that weird?
It's so weird. I mean, we've been living together since I got here, so now to not have him in the house, it's so weird.
So
weird.
Does Zach live with you?
He does. Zach moved in.
So just the two of you, or you got a third?
Just the two of us.
So wait, so what did Zach do last year?
He was in the dorm. The dorm. Freshmen have to live in the dorm.
What?
Yeah.
Freshmen have to live in the dorm?
Yeah.
For an NIL era, I'd be like, Coach, I appreciate the opportunity to live in the dorm, but I think
that may have been a rule when I was a freshman, but I don't know how many of them are living in the dorms anymore.
The cars in the parking lot have gotten a lot nicer.
Have they?
Okay, who's got the showstopper?
Well,
you can say you, huh?
Just no, not me. Seton just got rid of his Maybach, so I would have said the Maybach. Yeah, crazy. I mean, but he just got rid of it last week, and actually he's still up there because now we got like a black Cybertruck that it's clean, so he's up there. I mean, it feels like every single receiver has one of those little Mercedes AMGs, so those are pretty sweet too. Oh, Sam's got a nice car too. He is an AMG, but it's like it's like the smaller version. I'm not a car guy, so I don't really know, but like his is cool, and it's like a burnt orange color. It's cool.
Burnt orange.
Yeah.
You can't go burnt orange when you're the LSU quarterback.
Maybe it's not burnt orange. It's not Texas orange, so it's not burnt orange.
Right.
It's like
Tennessee orange. That's not good either.
That'd be a terrible color.
That'd be terrible.
It's almost kind of like that. Yeah, I guess it is kind of a little Texas orange. Yeah. Dang.
He's pointing to like the step and repeat next to us. What did you get asked the most today? Because this is the end of the day for you. What did you get asked the most?
Probably Coach Baker coming back, defensive goals, personal goals, a little bit about Landry, a little bit about cooking. Those are probably the majority.
Cooking? What about cooking?
About our little chef show that we got. Our little we're making some videos, like cooking videos.
So it's all like on social stuff.
Yeah.
So what do you like to cook?
Me personally, steak, rice, and green beans. That's my go-to. It's easy after you get home. Like it's simple, but like Landry will come and like she'll go to the grocery store and she'll whip up something crazy, and I just kind of help her out a little bit. But she's the chef.
All right, what's your favorite cut of steak?
I like to switch it up because I eat so much steak.
Okay.
I can't pick one because I'll switch it up from a strip to a ribeye to a fillet. That's kind of like the three I keep in rotation. So I'm not eating the same cut.
Yeah. That's
every single day because I eat a steak a day.
How do you prepare it?
Medium rare. And the skillet, I just kind of, it's easy.
You never go grill?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
I used to, and then one football season I left my grill sitting too long and it got a little gross. So I can't fire it up no more.
Whit Weeks is our guest. One of the things that was interesting about watching y'all in spring, I think you might have even talked about this with us, was the tempo. Right, that going against the tempo every day from Lane's offense, but you kind of ramped up in spring. So do you feel like you got a good gauge of? I mean, do you even really need spring? I mean, as a senior, like, do you need spring football as a senior?
Mentally, no. I think because I know, and also, I mean, physically, I couldn't do it because I was coming off of surgery. getting my ankle back right. So physically I couldn't do it, but I think mentally it's good to kind of like just take that step back and really like what I was trying to do is I'm not watching the defense during the spring. I'm watching the offense, trying to pick up on offensive tendencies. So I feel like that's kind of the next step that I wanted to evolve in my game is I feel like last year I really learned the run game very well. I can see any picture, a box picture, and I know exactly what you're running based on what you're showing me. But at the pass game, I had no idea. I just pass, I'm dropping back. I could kind of read a couple things like two's on the ball, probably getting a little Taiwan to the boundary, like certain things like that. But I didn't understand the full picture of what an offense was trying to throw at you and where the quarterback's like his 1 to 2 to 3 read, because that matters. Because if you're guarding this guy, but he's his fourth read, why would you even lean heavy towards him when he's really trying to attack the boundary hash? So in certain techniques, I'm turning and sprinting back to the hash now, picking off balls that I wouldn't have picked off last year.
So like we think we're getting a few picks this year.
Yeah.
How many?
I'd be happy with 3.
All right, we're clipping it. We're clipping
Give me
it.
3 picks this year.
3 picks. I love that. But you said like because you physically couldn't do it, and we were chatting earlier in the other room, and you were saying this is the first time you felt healthy since you were a sophomore. Go back to you got hurt in the Ole Miss game,
right?
This past year,
right?
And it was the end. It was like the very end of the game,
right? Last drive.
Okay, walk me through what I'm going to go sequence here, but walk me through what happened.
Okay, I'll give you the whole rundown.
Yeah.
So the play happens. I'm on an O-line. Trinidad's rolling out. I think it was either Trinidad or Keywon. Can't really remember which one it was, but I like rip off the block and try to dive to make the tackle. And I'm on my belly on the ground and my legs up in the air behind me. And the O-lineman that I ripped off of fell on top of my ankle. So all that pressure went right on the ankle that I had surgery on. And I felt it immediately. Like something did not feel right. So I'm like, holy smokes. I go into the tent and I'm like, golly, like something's not right. But I just think it's the previous injury that's acting up a little bit. Like that's all I thought it was. I didn't think I broke my ankle again. And I'm in the tent and I'm like, holy smokes. Like, let's see if I can walk. Kind of hop down, jump around. Adrenaline is pumping. So can't really feel nothing. And then, run back out there. And as I'm running on the field, I'm like, golly, like something's not right. Like I can't even run. So then if you really watch that game, the last like 4 plays of the game, like, thank goodness they didn't run the ball my way because I could not run. I couldn't move. And I remember getting back to the locker room after that game. It was emotional. We lost a big one. Kind of just trying to rally the troops, like kind of trying to keep the hopes up, give them a little speech, keep the hopes up. But then I go back and I'm taking my pads off and I'm on the training room table. And I hopped down. And when my ankle hit the ground, I was like, felt like a knife was going into my ankle. And I was like, holy smokes. Like, and I still just thought something's acting up with my previous surgery. Like, at this point, it just is what it is. Going to have to deal with it. So then we go into the off week, and I take that week off. Don't do anything that week. Don't even hardly. I don't run nothing. And I actually, matter of fact, don't practice again until the following Thursday before South Carolina because they knew something was not right. So I didn't practice Tuesday, didn't practice Wednesday. I do a walk through Thursday, get just studying film, just mentally preparing for South Carolina because I'm like, all right, I'm gonna have to gut this one out. Like it is what it is at this point. Like I'm just banged up. Keep going. Played the South Carolina game.
Which is crazy, by the way.
Yeah. So I remember at halftime of that game, I went into halftime and I was like, I can't even move out there. But I was still playing good ball. So I was like, I'm not going to take myself out because I'm playing good enough to where I'm not hurting the team by being out there. And I remember trying to come out for halftime after that game and I couldn't warm up because I couldn't walk. I couldn't run. I was like, holy smokes, I literally cannot. So I told Coach Baker, I was like, dude, like, I can't go. Like, I can't go the second half. He's like, yeah, I figured. Cause like we knew something was wrong. Yeah. So we were trying to just go as long as I could. And I couldn't warm up after half. And I remember sitting on the sideline for that first drive. And I can't remember exactly which drive it was, but like they started driving the ball a little bit. And I was like, you know what? Like if I go out there, my adrenaline's going to be flying. And I'm not going to feel it if I'm out there, but sitting on the sideline, I could feel it. So I was like, screw it. And I was just like, didn't even tell Coach Baker. I just ran on the field. I was like, Devon, come on. Like I'm good. Screw it. I'm going. So I ended up finishing that game. And then I think it was Monday or it was Tuesday because we were practicing. And at this point I was like, something's wrong. I couldn't take a shower. I couldn't stand up and take a shower. I was like, my ankle, like I couldn't stand up for longer than like 2 or 3 minutes. And I was like, something's not right. Like I got to go get this checked out. So I went and told him and I was like, Coach Baker, I'm probably down this week. Like,
and that was Vanderbilt.
Yeah, it was Vanderbilt. I was like, I've tried to do everything I can do. And I physically, like, I can't even hardly get out of bed. And sure enough, they went and I got an MRI on it. Sure enough, had broken tailor head in my ankle.
What's a tailor head?
It's like the way they described it to me, like these are your two leg bones, the one that sits right here. So like when the O-lineman fell on me and my foot went down, like he said, all that pressure just kind of like crushed the bone and it just kind of cracked right down the middle. So that's what ended up happening then. And I was like, all right, 4 weeks and I'll be back. We have an off week, 4 weeks. I'm gonna be back. I'm gonna come back for Arkansas. I think it was either Arkansas or Alabama, whoever we played first.
It was Alabama was after the bye.
Okay. So I was kind of come back for Alabama and I practiced on Wednesday and I couldn't even move. And I was like, it's not like, I'm just going to hurt the team if I'm out there. Can't move. So didn't go that week. Tried to go again against Arkansas, practiced on Wednesday, couldn't do it again. So then finally against Western Kentucky, that was when I was like, okay, this is the only time me, West, and Zach can all play together.
Right.
So I was like, I practiced. I did a walkthrough on Thursday just to be ready to go play. Cause I was like, I'm not going to remember the pain. I'm going to remember playing with my brothers. Yeah. So and Coach Baker told me, he's like, this is the week that we're going to do it. If you come back, like I'm going to put you on the game. And I was like, all right, you're going to have to do it early. Like I probably only have a drive or two in me. So I ended up playing like 10 snaps that game and 7 of them were with my brothers. So that was awesome for me.
It was worth it?
Yeah, it was worth it for sure. And then tried to come back then I played against Oklahoma, played the majority of that game, but golly, like I just couldn't move. Like it was like I was on one leg.
So when did you start? Did you feel great now?
Yeah.
When did you start feeling like great again?
May. The beginning of May, I really started.
So after spring.
Yeah. After spring. During spring, so I got it cleaned up in January. Went in there, did some stuff, kind of got some stuff cleaned up, cut out of there. And that's what I was recovering for this spring. And really like I tell people, it's like I got a new ankle right now. Like I truly like, and like just even not even playing football, but just like in life, like it's good to not like just have a random step, be like, oh wow, like that doesn't feel good. So it's nice just to not have that lingering. Yeah, man.
It's so fascinating watching you guys this year, just because of all of the different dynamics with Lane coming in and all the expectations surrounding. You said you watched the offense. We're going to wrap up here in a second, but you said you watched the offense in spring. So give me your impressions, senior line. You've seen everything at this point, watching that offense.
I think the hardest thing to defend with this offense is the fact that they'll show you the exact same look, but run something totally different out of it, which is not as common as you think. Like if I'm going into a game week and I'm studying a team and I'm like, okay, if this receiver's 2 yards on the top of the numbers and number 3 over here is cut, I know exactly what we're getting. Whereas with this offense, it's like, okay, I know the play that you ran on Thursday out of this look. You're cut. I know exactly what we're getting. But they run something totally different on Tuesday of the next week. So it's like they get in the same look. So you can never get a tell on them. You can never pick up on what they're about to give you or what route combinations they're about to give you, because they'll give you the exact same look and have 5-6 different plays off of the same look.
What about watching Sam? We didn't get to see much of Sam in the spring.
Yeah.
Right. So like, I know there's like the player workouts and practices right now. Like, what do you see from him?
I cannot wait to see that guy play in the fall. I mean, that dude, he's special. Like my career here, I played with a lot of good quarterbacks, Jaden and Nuss. I mean, one of them won the Heisman, and Sam's up there with all of them, like right up there with them. That dude can sling the rock. Me and TJ were talking. We'll be out there and it's like, dude, like, how did he just throw the ball in that window? Like, how did he just get that past us? Like, it's unbelievable to see. So that dude, I cannot wait to see what he does in the fall, because all it's been is just pass game. Like you haven't even seen him run yet. Yeah. So like once you see a full Sam Levitt like game, I can't wait to see that.
Last year when you were here last year, I asked Garrett if he loved number 13, was his dad's number. So if they asked him to wear 18, he said it would be an honor. He'd do it. You've been 40 your whole time here. If they ask you to wear 18, will you?
That'd be a great honor. I know the rich tradition and the history of that number that comes with that. And if they do want to give that to me, that's something that I would wear proudly. But I think the best thing about this team this year really is that we have a couple guys that deserve to wear 18. Really, like as far as a leadership aspect and what that number truly means, there's a couple guys. Bo Bordelon comes to the top of my mind as he's a guy who would wear 18, wouldn't really wear it because he's an O-lineman, but he could wear the patch. Yeah. Like he's a guy who first pops to my mind when you say 18. He's a guy who's from Louisiana, grew up down the bayou, loved LSU his whole life. He's been here for 5 years. Yeah. And he's just been a kind of a rotational player his whole career. And that dude works harder than anybody I've ever seen in my life. So to see him kind of get that role as a starter and kind of lock that in and play really good football, like that's the story. That's an 18 right there to me.
Okay. I like you in 40, bro. I'm just going to
I like 40. I like 40.
Oh, he is Whit Weeks. Pleasure, man. Thank you so much.
Sir, thank you.
Buying or selling, commercial or residential, think real estate, think Darren James. You want an unbelievable customer service experience? You want Darren James. It's part of his core values for Darren and his team. Darren tells me all the time, as long as I've known Darren, he said, my goal one day is to put myself out of business. I want to create such a turnkey, seamless, easy process for people to be able to buy and sell homes that they don't even need me anymore. Well, as Darren continues on that path in the meantime, he's going to help you sell your home. So if you need to sell your home, you want a realtor that quite literally sells more homes than anyone, you want Darren James. Last year, Wall Street Journal is listed the top 1% of realtors in America, Darren James. So need to sell your home fast for the most amount of money? You need Darren James. 335-7666, 335-7666, or agent225.com.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
All right, great conversation between Matt and Whit Weeks there. We're going to grab a break. We'll come back and bring you the conversation with Cole Cubelic. That's next here on AFR.
After further review.
Summer is here. Maybe you're looking to upgrade that ride before the family road trip. Get on by South Point Volkswagen, airline just north of Highland, or online at southpointvw.com, southpointvw.com. Told you for years, they're Louisiana's largest volume Volkswagen dealer. Maybe you need that full-size family SUV. Make sure you go test drive the Atlas. That's what Erica drives. It's the 3-row, 7-seater family SUV. Tons of space to accommodate our family, all our bags, all the beach stuff as well. Go test drive one today at South Point Volkswagen. Remember, you can shop them online, new and certified pre-owned. So if you're looking for a pre-owned vehicle, great selection. Say it all the time. They're the largest volume Volkswagen dealer. They move more new inventory, so they have more pre-owned trade-in inventory as well. So make sure you shop their pre-owned vehicles over at South Point Volkswagen. Airline just north of Highland, or southpointvw.com. South Point Volkswagen. What's your direction?
Hey, if you could have a sport radio station and you could rename it, because most of them are grandfathered in, would you go super corny, like sport name, like Zone, Ticket, Fan is big,
Yeah.
Or would you just like go totally different off the wall?
I'm a big believer in calling by its name.
The Tiger.
No, I would go with like 145 ESPN Baton Rouge. I mean,
Yeah.
there's no mistaking what this is.
Yeah,
right.
like we're on WJOX. It happens to be Jock like sports, but like those are the call letters of the station.
Was it WJOX before it was a sports station?
Had a very good question. I don't believe so.
Yes, they probably changed the call letters to JOX with the idea of making it a sports station.
It's still better than being like, the Lion.
The Lion. What did you say, the
I
Lion?
don't know. I'm sure Detroit has a sports station called the Lion. 9-5, the Lion.
Cole Cubelic is joining us here on After Further Review. Hey, you a couple of years ago, you made a statement on this show that resonated with our audience. We played it over and over again. People still reference it when you're talking about LSU's inability to run the ball. And I'm paraphrasing, but you said something to the effect of you have to give them the chance to run the ball.
Correct.
And so they never did it enough to get good. Did I have that about right?
I think one of your listeners actually sent me the statistic that there were, I'm guessing here, but it was somewhere around 17 times in an entire season that the football was handed off on consecutive plays. An entire season, back-to-back plays, the ball was handed to a running back. Like, that can't happen. I'll be honest with you. One of my biggest concerns with Kentucky right now going into the year
is
play calling.
Is Lane Kiffin's offense going to change? Like, I guess the way to say it is,
Yes.
I think we agree LSU got to run the football.
Yeah, his offense will help. His offense can do it in multiple ways. Now, there are different ways to run the football. We've seen some over the last however many years of college football. You can use tempo, pace. You can go fast. He'll use that at times. You can use now formations with. So what Tennessee does to the nth degree is Mississippi State will to an extent. Lane will use some of that. He'll formation you out of being able to defend the run the way that he wants. You can use the option now, not our option phrase, Nebraska, air Krauts, whatever, but option plays, be it RPO, zone read, even uncovered in the slot, quick throws. You can have your quarterback make those decisions via option plays to either run the ball through the air or, again, force you to be defended in a way that's advantageous in the box. Also, some of the ways they will run the football by design, some zone scheme, some gap scheme, don't require you to be Alan Faneca to be successful moving people and running the football. Yeah, I know where I am. I know where I'm on right now. You don't need Will Campbell to just push people in order to run the football. Now, he would love to have there have been more times I have sat with Lane Kiffin over the last 3 or 4 years, and he has voiced his frustration to me about his offensive line not being physical enough. Like, we need to move people. We need to be a little bit tougher. So he wants that. I think it was like all of us, it's hard to find in today's college football. So the cool part about Lane's offense pertains to running the ball. He has multiple ways to circumvent the traditional run game that you and I probably reference more than not, and that is, can we combo this tackle, move him, pick up 4 yards, then go do it again, and then do it 30 times a game.
You think we can do it this year?
Not that way, but the other ways, yeah.
Okay.
They will run the football.
Sam Levitt's got to be a huge component of that.
Yes.
Did you have Levitt Mississippi State, Arizona State game on the call for either of those?
No, I had the Mississippi Arizona game a couple years ago.
Okay.
That was year Arizona played, I think, Texas in the Alamo had a really good team.
That was Fish, yeah. I just wonder if you've had an opportunity to see Levitt, your thoughts
I've watched enough film on him to know my favorite aspect of his game that he is a gamer. And so there's no stat I can give you, anything of that nature. But like when you talk about the ability to just sort of move the right way, extend play, there are wrong ways to extend plays and there are right ways to extend plays. He very rarely puts himself in more trouble when he extends plays. It's one of my favorite aspects of a quarterback. This is so lame. Is throwing the ball away. So many guys just refuse to throw the football away. It's like, it's 1st and 10. Throw it away. Can we have 2 more downs? With we'll have 4 more down to pick up the first down. So I think he has a good understanding of position, presential. He's tough. He has that gamer aspect to him. Throws a beautiful deep ball, plenty of arm strength. My only concern, Matt, is that he stays healthy. That's really it. Like, his best availability is being available. And if he is, I think he can flourish in this offense.
Everyone in Cubelic is with us right now on After Further Review. When you look at the schedule, this is what everybody talks about. Just tell me, when you just scroll that, just tell me like what your reaction. I don't pretend to know that you would know all 16 teams' schedules by heart. What do you see on that?
First thing that I see is what most people I think are ignoring, and it's Texas A&M. And it's not because it's Texas A&M. It's because it's after Ole Miss. And I would say the same thing about Ole Miss. I think the biggest game on their schedule is Florida, going to Florida next week.
That's the week after you.
I know it. We all know it. There's going to be so much mentally, emotionally that are going to go in that game, week 3. Interviews, talk, texts, tickets, all of it.
Yeah.
If you win that game, I actually think the coach that wins that game has a hard time the next week. If Lane wins that game, his staff, all the fans, that team's going to hear how good they are, what a great job that was, how much that one meant until Thursday. And if Ole Miss wins that game, they're going to party till Thursday in Oxford. And then they got to go to Gainesville, which is not an easy trip. And then you get Texas A&M, a team that will attempt to punch you in the face coming the next week. You better be ready for that game. So that's the first thing that sticks out. The other thing that sticks out, put code in here. And I will tell you the other thing that sticks out to me here is, defenses that can be problematic for this offense. All right, Clemson, maybe defensive line. The Ole Miss defense could be a problem for familiarity and a couple other reasons. The Mississippi State defense could be complicated, but Lane did struggle with that group when he was in Oxford very much. Texas is going to be problematic because they can match you with talent. At Tennessee, that late in the season could go one of 2 ways. Tennessee's healthy, physical, and running the football, and it can be a problem. And it's they're like, let's just complication with him going back to Knoxville, or Tennessee just beat up because they have a ton of depth, and you should find being able to go in there and manage that game. They won't have defense personnel. I don't think the college problems. What I haven't thought of this, but matches on this schedule are not overly difficult. There's a couple teams in this league that I could go through their schedule and say, how are you going to match up with that? How are you going to match? Like, let's say Auburn's schedule, for example. Okay. You go down, and Alex Goldsmith pointed this out to me. He said, I went back, he walked down to DJ's office the other day, and I was like, man, I didn't think of how many teams that are going to play at a furious rate offensively that we play this year. This is a problem. Not for DJ. He said it was a problem for me because now I have to take a different mentality into how I'm going to manage my offense, help you on defense. So when do we start scaling back? When do we maybe run the ball when we wouldn't? When do we try to run some clock when we might go fast? He's already starting to think about those things. The matchup on that schedule for LSU, not overly daunting where I look at it and say, man, you don't match up well. They're going to be a huge problem there. Now, the other side of that would be defensively. If a spot where you have to be overly aggressive, are there some mobile quarterbacks in there that can maybe take advantage of? Or quick game is another area with Blake Baker's defense that I think at times it can hit you in ways that you don't want it to, but I don't look at it and say, man, these are just some bad matchups for LSU up and down the schedule.
All right, we got to grab a break. We'll come back on the other side of the break, bringing the second half of Matt's conversation with Cole Cubelic from day 4 of SEC Football Media Days in Tampa.
After further review.
Brought to you by Glow Resources. If you are a business owner, if you're an HR manager, a VP, an ops manager, if you're the person in charge of hiring at your job, at your place of business, and you're having trouble finding the right people, you need Glow Resources. And I want to remind you, Glow Resources, they're exceptional when it comes to skilled blue-collar workers and also white-collar divisions. Remember, Glow Resources has a full professional placement division. So we're talking about office administrators, executive-level assistants, assistant controllers, plant managers, scheduling assistants, basically any type of office job. Accounting, HR, marketing, managerial, supervisor roles. If you're having trouble finding those people and sometimes hard to fill roles, Glow Resources specialize. They recruit nationwide. For example, they had a Baton Rouge company that was looking for an engineer. They found the employee in Florida to work the job in California. It's Glow Resources. Check them out online today. GLO, glowresources.com.
6 new coaches in the league. I think is fascinating. LSU is going to face Auburn, Kentucky, Arkansas. They're going to face 3 and Ole Miss, 4 the new coaches in the league. Which new coach do you think position themselves best this offseason, meaning roster staff, all the stuff, to have immediate success?
Oh, John Sumrall.
Okay.
Well, if you're counting Pete Golding in that,
No,
it's
not
Pete Golding.
not Kiffin or Golding.
Okay.
Not
No,
Kiffin
it's
or
John Sumrall. John Sumrall, first off, I'll put him up against anybody that had to go make a or 2 coordinator hires and who he brought in, Buster Faulkner and Brad White. Brad White has been vastly underrated in this league for a very long time.
Was that Kentucky?
Really good defensive coordinator. Then he goes and gets Buster Faulkner, who's been great at Georgia Tech, and brings Aaron Philo, who's been in that system, and goes and Eric Singleton, who's essentially created in that offense a couple years ago at Georgia Tech, who he's going to have as a move piece. You can motion him, you can get it to him quick, you can hand it to him, you can hit him down the field. You have an outside receiver in Dallas Wilson that's going to be a one-on-one matchup problem. Oh, and by the way, we can feed Jaden Ball 30 times a game, and he can handle that, and he's the best back in the league, not named Ahmad Hardy. So
T1 Lacey?
I'll take Jaden Ball, dude.
Okay. LSU wanted.
I love Keywan Lacey. Keywan Lacey's a stud. Jaden Ball is just a freaking hammer. He's 234 pounds. You're not supposed to be able to do those things. If he had a little extra gear, we might throw out the Cecil Collins, but I'm not there yet.
Cecil Collins, man, he was fun to watch.
Oh, when you were standing on the sideline, he wasn't.
At least you know to try to tackle him.
You told me he's the best football player you played against.
I believe it.
Ever.
I believe it.
It's insane. Next time you have a plug on, get him to tell you the practice story about inside drill Cecil Collins.
Okay.
It's incredible.
I like that. Cole Cubelic, before we go, does Lane Kiffin get LSU to the playoff in year 1? Do you like them as a playoff team?
I think it's very feasible. I think it's possible. It's hard for me to view it as likely right now. It's just so much new. And it's hard because of the things that said this week and all of the other stuff, his contract, the cost of the roster, some of the names they brought in. Like, did you hear Elko yesterday asked him about offensive coordinator?
I didn't.
He said, we had a national search. We looked around. We tried to do it the way that people would think. He said, but you know what? New isn't always better. And we fall for that more in college football than anywhere else in life. Maybe actually with, people who like to buy things, like new cars, new jewelry, whatever. But we are obsessed with new in college football. New coach, new coordinator, new tackle, new receiver. We always think it's going to be better, and it's not. Now, Lane Kiffin, I think, is a better head coach than Brian Kelly. A lot of pieces that came with Lane Kiffin are better than what was there or better than what has been there, both coaches and players now on the field. But it doesn't mean it's going to work right now. The biggest problem we have in college football right now is continuity. It's impossible to develop. It's impossible to gain times, and it doesn't just happen. Continuity wins in football. If you watch Indiana, I know they had a couple of drafts, but they won because they executed together. They knew what was being asked of them on every play, and they did it at such a high rate. There was not a lot you could do about it. It's hard to find that. It's hard to develop that. It's hard to get that. The reason that they had advantages of being an all team were not because they out-muscled everybody. It's because of that. They had understanding from a football perspective of what needs to be accomplished on this play. And I might make the play. I might not catch the ball. I might not make the tackle. I might not have a big block. Like, I might need to be a decoy in this play. But they did it better than I saw anybody else do it consistently last year.
So LSU play?
No.
I'm not mad at you for that.
I'm mad. I don't care if you're mad at me. I don't care if you're mad at me.
I could never be mad at you. It's a brutal schedule. I think there's going to be.
You peeled the curtain back yesterday and told me you were mad at me. And you've been mad at me for years. You just let me know that this week.
I've never been mad at you ever.
It's not true, but that's okay.
How could I be mad at you?
You told her in my face.
So that's
doing what he's doing is apparently I've been at times mispronouncing his name when I had him on my show. And I'll share with your listeners the part of that is when I used to come as a regular guest, which I don't know if I've done that in 2 years. So you are mad at me.
You're always invited, but you couldn't because you
are mad at me. And I guess I say Skana and then and and the best part about it is you used to do the daily scone right before I came on. And you would think for an intelligent human would hear that and know that it's Moscona. You probably just didn't enjoy breakfast pastries that much. Name a segment after it, which maybe I thought you did. I don't know. Or I'm just an idiot, one or the other.
But you do say Moscona. I
don't know when you're going to figure this out. I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
It doesn't
know what I'm doing.
Fowler over here called me Moscona for 15 years. And I'm correct because people mispronounce my name also. There's a lot of vowels. But you will say 3 different things in the same interview. And I'm like, I just want to be, hey, just so you know.
See, let me tell you the difference. You know what he is never? Right. Sure. You know I am 20% of the time? Right.
Got it.
At least I get it once.
If you scroll back,
I'm covering all my bases.
You scroll back to the beginning of the interview, you notice I pronounced it in like 3 different ways. There's the Easter egg for you.
You'll never beat Peter Burns.
What did he do?
First time he had on a show with him at SC Network. Cubelic.
No. I need the receipts.
I've got the audio somewhere. I find send it to you.
I need the receipts.
Cubelic.
Yeah,
but I'm like, honest to God, man, I'm surprised you got Cole right.
That's you know what? That's one though where if you're a guy or a lady who has a name that no one has ever Peter Burns, no one's messed that up.
Not one time.
Then you can't empathize with someone like Moscona or Cubelic. So like I tell producers too, if we have someone on the show, I'm like, get me a pronunciation before we start.
Or ask them off the air.
Yeah, whatever. Because it's like I can make sure that I'm right. He doesn't have to ever worry about that. He doesn't know what that feels like.
Fair. You're right.
That guy. He's Cole Cubelic. That's. Oh, by the way, before you go, can we? People have asked a bunch. You're moving up to the booth this year. So
Yes.
congrats. That's a great thing, right?
Thank you. I'm excited about it. Yeah, excited about being
bummed not to have you and Tom and Jordan on SC Network.
Of course.
It's been awesome.
8 years we worked together. It was awesome. It was a fun ride. Like, we did some things that nobody's done. We tried some things that people didn't like, but we had a blast, man. And I ran through the litany season non-conference LSU games that we've had over the last 5 years.
My guy had to suffer through Army, which was actually a cool day.
Southern
was a cool day.
Southern was one of my favorite games I've ever done there.
That's
And
so
the game
good.
was not bad at all. But it was just it took us over 2 hours to get from the downtown building to the stadium.
That's so good.
Our GPS had us going through the neighborhood. I'm like, guys, we go that way every time. And like, this and we go that way today. It was an awesome day. We had the Army game, which, you know what? That wasn't competitive, but that was cool too. Like, just to have Army inside Tiger Stadium was cool. The Western Kentucky game last year started to get a little competitive towards the end. We tried to sell it competitive.
After the scoop and score.
Mm-hmm.
What a
I'll tell you off it, the best hit in game I never did was that game.
What happened?
Well, you had a guy that played at LSU whose son was in the other uniform on the field, who was committed to Michigan, who did not go to Michigan because he was girlfriend pregnant to stay close to home to be with the kid who was now suited up for the other team in your stadium. Now, we didn't get that on the air.
Jai Eugene?
Mm-hmm. And he had a Western Kentucky sweatshirt and an LSU hat on in the stands.
So good.
And I talked to him before, and I'm like, "Can I share all like this way?" He was like, He's like, "What happened?"
Yeah.
I was like, "Check nicest guy ever."
Jai's great.
Panitsky introduced me to him before the game. I was like, "This dude's we got to tell the story." Whatever. Sometimes it happens in TV, you don't get it in. I'm like, it's just, see, it bothers me we didn't tell that story.
We just did.
Now you know.
Thank you, dude.
Summer is here, which means beach vacations, barbecues, backyard pool days, whatever you got going on. Make sure you celebrate with our friends at Rouse's, no matter what you're looking for. Meat or fish to throw on the grill. Maybe you want some cold drinks for the adults or the kids. Chips and dips and all the servings and sides. Rouse's is your spot with 76 locations from Lake Charles to Orange Beach and points in between. You're never far from a Rouse's location. And one of the things I love most is Rouse's always does their best to make sure they source local products. You want local Louisiana products and ingredients, you'll get them at Rouse's. Whether you're making groceries, a quick stop to pick up something for dinner, or a day at the pool, make sure you make Rouse's part of your summer every day. Find the Rouse's nearest you. You can shop the weekly ads online at rouses.com, rouses.com. Rouse's, this feels like home.
All right. Just about going to do it. We do have one more break to grab. We'll come back on the other side. We'll give you some final thoughts from the week that was at SEC Football Media Days before we send you off into your Thursday night. But thank you to Cole Cubelic, obviously, for sitting down with Matt earlier. Same goes for all three of the LSU players, Whit Weeks, TJ Daugherty, and Trey Des Green. We had Chris Gordy, JD Piquel, all those guys very generous with their time over there in Tampa with Matt here on Thursday to close out the week. So we'll grab a break. We'll come back on the other side. I'll give you some final thoughts from the week that was SEC Football Media Days, and we'll put a button on the show. That's next here on AFR.
AFR.
We're brought to you by Clegg's Nursery with 4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area. Siegen near Airline, LA 16 in Denham. Mid-City on Don Moore, Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. You know those 4 locations, and what an awesome time to get by Clegg's Nursery because they still have every single day shipments of flowers coming in, plants, trees, shrubs. You want to beautify the exterior of your home. You want to add that pop of color to your flower bed, to your patio pots. Maybe you got unwanted pests like ants or snakes or mosquitoes, wasps. They can help you take care of all of them. Maybe you got weeds coming up in your lawn. You want to get rid of that. Maybe you got dead spots in your lawn. The horticulturists, the professionals at Clegg's Nursery have the knowledge, the know-how, the expertise, and all the products you need to win Yard of the Month every month for your whole life. Guaranteed. Actually, I can't back that up. You have to do some of the work too. It's Clegg's Nursery. Tell you every day, better coverage for less money. And man, my friends over at Insurance Network of Louisiana are crushing it for Louisianians on their auto insurance right now. Listen, if you have not had anyone shop for your auto insurance lately, you got to call Insurance Network of Louisiana. My goodness. They got some top-rated companies, Geico, Progressive. They're doing awesome work right now. This was an amazing story that I heard. They wrote one last week, saved the client $2,911 annually. They had a high auto rate with State Farm. They smashed it with Geico. They had another one save $1,476 annually with Progressive. They had Allstate and switched. Y'all, I tell you all the time, if you're just auto renewing your insurance, man, you're probably overpaying and you're underinsured. Let Insurance Network of Louisiana help. LAinsurance.net.
After further review with Matt Moscona. Live from the 2026 SEC Football Media Days in Tampa. Presented by FMOL Health, Our Lady of the Lake, Relief Windows, Rev Fiber, and Parish Construction and Roofing.
What a week it's been. What a week it has been surrounding SEC Media Days here in the summer of 2026. I mean, it is the unofficial official start of our football season here, and man, it was certainly eventful as it is every season. A few things that stood out to me here before we get out of here on a Thursday. Man, first and foremost, how many coaches got up to the podium this week, whether it was in the main room, whether it was in the breakout session, whether it was on local radio, wherever. The amount of coaches that got up there and discussed offensive line and where they are on the offensive line and not being settled on the offensive line. There is team after team after team in this league this year with a lot of question marks along their offensive line. And it is teams that you're not used to seeing that from. Alabama. Kalen DeBoer was asked multiple times, what are you going to do on your offensive line? Texas A&M, we talked about that earlier in the show. They're replacing 4 starters. Auburn has issues on the offensive line. Florida has uncertainty on the offensive line. Obviously, South Carolina, maybe you are a little used to them. But it is teams that normally dominate in the trenches in this league that have a lot of uncertainty at an extremely important position. And it's going to be fascinating to watch how that plays out through camp for the rest of these teams and obviously when they get into the season, because the SEC is normally a trenches league. That is normally where these games are won and lost, and that's just football, to be quite honest with you. But that did take me by surprise. There were some that you knew, right? Bama, A&M, like there were some that you knew, but really hear how many got up there and had to discuss that, and with the uncertainty, that's intriguing. And I think it's absolutely a product of the transfer portal as well, because you can't build the depth there where you're just rolling in guy after guy like maybe you used to. So that certainly stood out. Listening to some of the new coaches and their candor, John Sumrall was very candid, talking about his expectations and outlook for Florida this season. I mean, saying that they're a long way away. They only have a month to go, and they are a long way away. I mean, he did not sugarcoat it. Ryan Silverfield on Thursday talked all the time about, quite honestly, why Arkansas stinks so much. You got to love Arkansas, man. They're very self-aware. They know they're not good at football. They want the answer of why, and he was peppered with that. He didn't sure. The man changed the light bulbs in the facility because they had these guys sitting in dark rooms all the time. Like, that's just the candor from the new head coaches in the league I found very interesting. And then this might be boring to you. It wasn't to me. I'm even more high on Georgia than I already was. Georgia, no one's talked about them because you just expect them to be great. They're Georgia, and I understand that. But I came out of this week, like, in my opinion, and again, this might sound like no duh, but a lot of people are high on Texas. I think Georgia's the SEC's best chance to win a natty. I think this is their best team since 2023, the last time they did win it. Gunnar Stockton already has his degree. He's a fourth-year player, and he gets to just focus on football. Your battery in general, but with Bobo and Gunnar Stockton, they're both four-year players. They've both already gotten their degree. your quarterback and center are going football. How young they were a year ago, all those guys are back. And Kirby Smart's a dang good coach. I'm even more high on Georgia than I already was. So just a few takeaways there. It was a great week. Thank you again to FMLL, Our Lady of the Lake, to Rev, to Parish Construction and Roofing, to Relief Windows for making that week possible. We learned a lot, and now it's here, y'all. Football season from here on out. That wraps up Thursday edition of AFR. Matt is back tomorrow. See you at 3 o'clock.
AFR.
Brought to you by Evermore. Drink Evermore, EVAMOR, evermore.com, evermore.com. For elite athletes, for someone who just wants a healthier lifestyle. Maybe you're a parent, you want a healthier option for your children. Evermore is a great option. I would highly encourage you, bottom line, if you're drinking tap water, don't. Bare minimum, filter your tap water. But the best option is Evermore. This is natural artesian water. It's underground aquifers on the north shore of Lake Pontchartrain, right there in Covington. They dug a well into that aquifer, and I mean, it's literally thousands of years in the making. That's why they call it Mother Nature's masterpiece. That's what they're pulling out of the ground. The only filtration is take like the sediment from the ground out of the water, and it goes right into the bottle. So it never touches air until you uncap it, take that first delicious sip. Learn more where you can buy it, great retailers or online, EVAMOR, evermore.com.